Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to the Video Game Valley. It's a beautiful day today. A perfect 72 degrees out. We're playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe on the PC. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe on the PC. It's a game about a guy named Stanley. I feel like most people who follow along any kind of like independent video game scene are at least familiar with the Stanley Parable. I don't think this is a particularly obscure game. Wildly popular game, the Stanley Parable. I've never actually played the Ultra Deluxe version, so looking forward to seeing what new stuff might be in here, although, to be honest, I don't really remember most of the stuff from the original, so I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference. Anyway, yeah, looking forward to playing some of this. I do remember very much liking this game when I first played it. I feel like this game had a problem that a lot of successful things happen. And that is, there's a ton of games that came out right after the Stanley Parable that did the sort of irreverent British guy voice narrator humor stuff that kind of made me hate that. That kind of made me despise that sort of video game humor. And this one was one of the first doing that, so it's not this game's fault. but sometimes you're very successful and a whole bunch of games copy you, and then all of a sudden that thing that you started, people hate now. People like me. Jason, thank you for the $2. Thought you couldn't do the blue-pink voice anymore. Oh, I could do it. I could only do it for like 1 or 2 lines, though, before my throat gives out. Yeah, I mean, I could do it for like 5 seconds. Otakon, thank you for the $1.99. One of my favorites of all time. Yeah, it's a really interesting game. I like it. Oh yeah, hello, Robert. Robert Benfer has a new video out today. A new video, conceptually, I think one of the funniest YouTube gags of all time. Although YouTube has done everything they can to try to ruin the gag. So, Robert, Robert's done some live streams. He's been in some of my stuff. But he hasn't uploaded a video to his channel since, I think, 2019. So it's been a long time. Today, he uploaded a new video. Previously on his channel, he had 199 videos released. And today, he released a video titled 200th Video, celebrating his 200th video. Which, after so many years, releasing a video celebrating your 200th video is extremely funny. It is maybe my favorite YouTube gag that's ever happened. YouTube, however, has done something very silly, which is YouTube has decided not to count it. When you go to Robert's channel, it still says 199 videos. It hasn't added this video to the count. And Robert's tried privating videos and unprivating them to try to force the count to change. And it just, no matter what, it's just staying at 199. And if you actually go through the videos, like I've seen some obnoxious comments of people being like, I counted, it's only 199. And no, you have not counted. You did not count. Sorry. You didn't count. You saw this number and assumed YouTube was telling you the truth and not lying to you. If you actually count through, it's 200 videos. It's 200. It's exactly 200. You can count it yourself manually. You see this? There's 3 in a row. 3. And then 2 at the end. This is 200. This cannot be 199 mathematically. It's 200. It's 200 videos. Anyway, highly recommend checking it out. 200. Because, yeah, there's 33 rows of 3 videos. That's... No. 66 rows. There's 66 rows of 3 videos. No, wait, yes. And that's 198 plus 2, 200. Do the math. Atari Jaguar. But yeah, no, 200 videos. But yeah, very funny. 6 years ago, the last video, and now 200th video. 8 hours ago. Check it out. Otakon, thank you for the... Oh, no, I already read that one. Sorry. Thank you again, Otakon, though. Tomolexi, thank you for the $5. Happy 200th video, Robert. Happy 200th video. Happy 200. Counted just now, that's 200. It's 200, baby. Frozen Bounded, thank you for the 666 NT. Robert has 66.6 rows of videos. Congratulations, Robert. Congratulations on the 66.6 entire rows of videos. While Robert was working on this video, YouTube had a thing where they actually changed the number that it was at. I think they changed, was it 198? They made it 198 all of a sudden. Instead of 199, something like that. Like, they started displaying the wrong number. And Robert eventually got that fixed. But, yeah, YouTube has just been messing with the number of videos. Got stuck at 301 views. Yeah, I was telling Robert, it's like back in the day. For anyone who wasn't here for early YouTube, YouTube would do this thing where when you would start getting views, it would count them instantly. But then after 301 or so, it would stop counting for a while. And it would start updating again, but it would only update like every couple hours instead of like right away. So everyone who released videos that got a lot of views initially at the time would get the same exact comments. You would release a video, the views would stop at 301, but the likes would continue to be counted in real time. And so all of a sudden, you would be flooded with comments from people saying, wait a minute, this video has more likes than it has views. There's something suspicious about this. Something's going on here. I've got to get to the bottom of this. Every time I would release a video, it'd be like, just waiting for the moment. Waiting for the moment that the views would stop, that the comments would start flooding in with people confused. Why is this video got 7,000 likes but only 301 views? Is this botted? Yeah. People would start accusing you of gaming the system. YouTube has to verify that I made 200 videos. Yeah, because of the plaque they're sending you, they gotta get Guinness on board to verify it. Alright. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? Yes, but should I select no because I'm streaming it? I think it might. I think if you select yes, it might unlock the newer content. Say no. Yeah, I think it just unlocks the newer content sooner. I don't actually think the newer stuff, like the newer stuff doesn't prevent you from seeing the old stuff, right? Pretty obvious when the new stuff is available. I'm just gonna say yes, because apparently there's it just determines how many points are needed to unlock the door that gives you the new content. So I'm just gonna select yes, because I have in fact, and I would like to see some of the new stuff at some point. It's very noticeable when the new content is in. Yeah, I mean, from what I just searched, it does seem like there's literally a door. It's like a new content door. I'm still deciding. You know what, I'll just push no. That's fine. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Oh. What if I want the computer to be very visible, though? Whenever it says to adjust so that the thing is barely visible, I always go way beyond that, because I like seeing stuff. I like to see things. Please enter the current time. And for me, it's 11:22. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. All right. You're playing the Stanley Parable. Nice. I'll increase the subtitle size because it's mostly for all of you. And I know some of you are watching on, like, telephones. Some of you are watching on telephones. Some of you are watching on the telephone. Alright, let's begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Nice.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
What's that?
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Dang
No
it.
one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Yeah.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
All right, well, narrator said I did it, so I better do it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, I'm always missing memos. 420. Dang it. I can't go into the weed room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, well, it said I entered the door on the left, so we better go in the door on the left. I feel like this decision in particular is going to drive people bananas.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Dang it.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
All right, let's go up to my boss's office. See if I can find an answer there. It's already driving me bananas. Yeah, I feel like nearly everyone who plays this game
Coming to
immediately
his staircase,
disobeys.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Oh, that's the bathroom. KJ Zana, thank you for the $5. There's a new Earth. My God. A whole new Wind and Fire documentary on HBO. Directed by Questlove, who has shown himself to be a brilliant documentarian on black music. Earth, Wind and Fire documentary at HBO. Interesting.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, I couldn't have. Matt, thank you for the $5. Saw Stolen Kingdom yesterday in the theater. As a man who lives in Orlando, I want to know your opinion on the documentary.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
Well, you got me wrong there. So
Was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Stolen Kingdom. I haven't seen this documentary.
2845.
Narrator said I couldn't know this number.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in.
Oh.
And the door just opened all by itself.
Oh,
and
nice.
Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Oh, here's the door. Nice. Whoa, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, I have not seen that documentary. Appears to be about the Walt Disney Corporation. Oh, it's about Buzzy. I might watch that. I'm very interested in seeing what happened to Buzzy. Did they figure it out? Did they figure out what happened to Buzzy?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, let's see what's
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Well, it said I went through the door, so... Seems to be some sort of button here. Narrator hasn't said what I did. Narrator hasn't said anything about what Stanley did, so I don't know if Stanley pushes this button or not. Yeah. Oh. I guess I could just fall into the abyss. Must have missed it. Narrator just said you pushed the button. I didn't hear it.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome. You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development.
I see.
And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content?
I
Always
did.
more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you.
Thank you.
I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility.
Oh, nice.
You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
I think we did it, folks.
Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
Well, very, very glad to hear it.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Let's try
What
it
could it
again.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, perhaps.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
One day.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
People love the broom closet.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Try 6960. You got it.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. $2845.
Dang it. 0451, sure.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep. I guess this time I'll push the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, that sucks. Although also, I mean, sometimes it's nice to have someone monitoring you. Sometimes it's nice to know that someone out there cares and is watching your every movement.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
No!
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
No.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
I did decide
For
that.
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah, how do I do that? Can't really see.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yeah, on.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
We did it. We beat the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ugh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, gotta go in the door on the left again.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Unless... What if we went in a broom closet instead?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What do you mean there's nothing here? There's a broom.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
There's duct tape. There's all sorts of stuff in here. There's a wrench.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Where's the mop? Where is the mop? There's a mop bucket, but there is no mop.
You realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I just like this closet.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh my god. The narrator's really losing it.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. you're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Alright, I think I gotta, there is more to this, but I do think I need to come back later. This is an ongoing thing.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Malvazar,
Feeling
thank you for the
soothed
$2.
and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Heck yeah, Stanley Parable, amazing game. Yeah, I do like this game.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Here. No, I don't think there is.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me. Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive. You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Oh.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere. Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Nice. I'm gonna give this big speech. Whoa. Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, maybe.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
What the
Feeling
heck?
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Extreme bathrooms. Nice. We'll go here eventually.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, let's see. What could it be?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
Wow.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Unless. Unless.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Dang it.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Son of a gun.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Malbazaar, thank you for the $2. Need to find the crowbar. Why is it called that? Because crows love picking them up and hitting them. Yeah, hitting people with it. Crows love to hit people. Nice room. Nice elevator. Yep.
Here's the door, just go.
Mr. Jackson, thank you for the $5. For the invention of the crowbar, they just drank at home. Badoo gaboo, badoo boo boo, badoo doo. Badoo boo 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 boo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, let's see what's over here. Escape, I don't know about that.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Yeah. Yes, here's the office. Nice. Yeah, it's the computer. Oh, look at this. Yeah, it's the boss's office. Wow. Welcome to the lounge. Here's the mic control facility.
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Is that sound plausible where he was supposed to be in the story? Stanley pushed the orange lever. Then he pushed the number 8.
Yeah, I got that ending. These levers were originally part of the Zending. Nice. I want to pull a lever. I don't have many levers in my day-to-day. I don't get to pull levers all that often in my life. It's not like a big problem or anything, but... I could just get a lever. You just buy one. It doesn't even have to be hooked up to anything. You could just buy a lever. Dear Strong Bad, how do you type with boxing gloves on? Ben. How does Strong Bad type with boxing gloves on? Malphazar, thank you for the $2. You, twist those knobs, twist those knobs. Yeah, I got plenty of knobs. I have various devices around the house that have knobs. I don't have any levers, though. I don't have a single lever.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Do you see?
But listen to me.
Oh.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Malphazar, thank you for the $2. And you, pull some levers, pull some levers. Get some levers pulled. I do love a good lever. One of these days. It's gonna happen, I'm telling you.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What? What the heck? I know there's one of these windows I could go through somewhere, but I don't actually remember where it is. Use the chair. The first room. The blue chair? This one? Oh, there we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Sure is.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No, I like this gag.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, could have missed it. Could have missed a memo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Dang it!
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I really want to go back in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Malvazar, thank you for the $2. Invader Zim. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Invader Zim. Good show.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? none of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my God, you're
Why
right.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
What the heck?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
What's that?
I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
What's that?
One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now
what
the
the
voice
heck?
was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
Stanley,
who had stumbled
no.
through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
All right, yeah. Wild to see you streaming finally. Welcome. Yeah, I stream every day. This is like I think this is the 3020th stream. Welcome, glad to have you here.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Absolutely.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, we got the new content door finally. I'm not gonna go in there yet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Maybe. Alright. See you stream all the time. It's the first time I caught you live. I understand. Glad to have you here. Hope you're having a good day. You know what? I hope your day has been alright. But I hope at some point in the next week you have an exceptional day. And I hope it's a surprise. I hope one of the upcoming days you're just like, dang, what the heck? What a day. This is the best day of my whole life. Hope you got a phenomenal day. Coming up soon. Alright. Well, I think there's a couple of more endings in the left door, but I don't know what they are. So we are going to go in the right door now. The guy said to go to the left, but we're going to do something a little tricky. We're going to go through the right door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I would love to admire the employee lounge. When I worked at BJ's Wholesale Club, we had an employee lounge. And the best part of this lounge was they used to take food that was like expiring that day and put it back in the lounge for us so we could eat it. So there was always like free food back there. And a good amount of it too. Was constantly getting free food at the BJ's Wholesale Club.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah. It's a pretty good employee lounge, honestly.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Paintings? I didn't even notice the paintings. Wow.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
That's their problem.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Yeah, I guess I should leave this room. You don't really get many rooms like this anymore with like a step down section. They stopped making rooms like this. Probably because people would trip and fall over. But I love step downs. I'd love to have an area where you would have to step down to. And then to leave the area, you would have to step up. Accessibility requirements. Yeah, you could probably have an area like this that was still accessible. You just need, it would need to be a little bit more complicated than just a drop. You know. Love to have a room like this that has a step down area, but then also has a second smaller and lower step down area with like one chair in it, so someone could be lower than everyone else in the room.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yeah, okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Malfazar, thank you for the $2. Jason hates wheelchairs. No, you could build a step-down section that was still wheelchair accessible. You just need a ramp, you know. See ya.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Dang it. I still end up having to go left. Commentary.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Oh, nice.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Oh, look,
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
No, I've
Quick,
already
Stanley,
seen.
close your
I've seen
eyes.
it.
Okay. We just have to get back to Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
I hate Mondays. What the heck? Hate Mondays. What the heck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, maybe.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I want to go that way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
All right.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off.
We did it.
Good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Here we go.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Run an adventure, everyone.
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Alright, I'll do my best. Goodbye. I think that counts as acknowledging.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Whoa.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Alright, well, we're at the end of the streams.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We might continue this next week. See what other endings we can get. I had a good time playing it. Special thanks to the FilmCow Patreon supporters. Greatly appreciate the support. I enjoyed this. It's a very enjoyable game. It's a good reason it was as popular as it was. There are a lot of different endings. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. I shall return tomorrow. What will I be playing? Yeah, what am I playing tomorrow? Oh yeah, tomorrow we're going to be playing another CDI game. That's right. Tomorrow is another CDI video game. We're going to be playing the Alice in Wonderland game on the CDI. Alice in Wonderland on the CDI. Hope to see you there for that. And, oh yeah, just a reminder. Friend Robert put out a new video today. It's called 200th Video. Very, very funny video idea. Robert hasn't posted on YouTube since 2019. But he's posted a new video today. He previously had 199 videos on this YouTube channel. But now he's got 200. 200th video. is back. So give it a watch if you get a chance. Well, that'll be it for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night, everyone. Great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a good one. Farewell, everyone. I love you all.